Let me tell you something. Real strength isn't just about lifting heavy weights or running long distances. It's not measured by how much you can bench press or how fast you can move. True strength, the kind that actually changes lives, starts in the mind. That's where the real battle is fought. It's not about biceps or endurance. It's about resilience, willpower, and determination. If you can win the fight that takes place in your head, then no force outside of you will ever truly defeat you. I'm talking about that deep, quiet, unwavering power that rises from within. The kind that keeps you standing when everything else is trying to knock you down. It's the ability to rise after failure, to keep pressing forward when others give up, and to move through the storm even when your mind is screaming for you to stop. If you're ready to unlock the truth behind mental strength, prepare yourself, because what we're about to explore isn't just a change in routine. It's a transformation of how you think, how you respond, and how you grow. Mastering your mindset is the foundation of it all. Mental strength isn't about what people see on the outside. It's about what's happening deep within. Your mindset is the most powerful asset you will ever own, yet it's often the most neglected. How you interpret the world, how you confront adversity, how you handle failure, it all begins with your inner dialogue. To be mentally strong, you have to take ownership of your thoughts. That's where the real war begins, right between your ears. Every single day, you're in a mental battle between fear and faith, doubt and confidence, weakness and courage. And the difference between someone who breaks and someone who breaks through lies in how they train their mind to respond to those moments. Your thoughts are the architects of your reality. If you're constantly telling yourself you're not capable, not strong enough, not ready, then guess what? You're reinforcing a belief system that will hold you back. But the moment you start choosing empowering thoughts, the moment you tell yourself that no matter what comes, you can handle it, that's when everything starts to shift. The problem is that so many people live in a prison built from their own limiting beliefs. They replay their past failures and disappointments like broken records, but the past only defines you if you allow it to. It's just information. It doesn't have to be your identity. What truly matters is what you do with the moment you're in right now. Mental strength begins with a conscious decision to stop shrinking yourself down, to fit into a life that feels safe. Stop assuming that the only victories available to you are the ones you've already seen. You are capable of more, but only if you choose to believe it. And belief isn't something handed to you by the world. It's something you build from the inside out. It's a mindset that declares, even in the darkest hour, I am more than this moment. I am more than my fear. I am more than my struggle. But this is where most people walk away. They want the results without the discipline. They want the strength without the struggle. But mental transformation doesn't happen in a flash. It's a process, a choice, a daily act of courage. And it begins with the words you speak to yourself. Words shape thoughts. Thoughts shape beliefs. And beliefs shape your life. So when you tell yourself that you're a failure or that you're not enough, you're not just thinking negatively. You're setting the tone for your entire reality. On the other hand, when you choose words like, I am ready, I can rise, I've got this, you start building a mental environment where success can take root. This kind of mindset isn't built in comfort. It's forged in the fire of adversity. And speaking of adversity, let's be honest, life will challenge you. There will be days when nothing makes sense, when everything falls apart, when you feel like the world is working against you. That's when mental strength gets real. Not when everything is going your way, but when nothing is. That's when you need to remind yourself that while you may not control every event, you do control your response. You are the author of your reaction, and that gives you power. You are not a victim, you are a fighter. This chapter you're in, no matter how tough, is not the end. It's just a part of the story. Your mindset is your shield. It's your power source. It's what allows you to face chaos without falling apart. When you master your mindset, you stop being controlled by fear. You stop being haunted by your past. You stop shrinking to fit into boxes that were never made for you, and instead you begin to see just how powerful you really are. That realization, that spark of inner certainty, is where true mental strength begins. But here's the part that most people avoid. The path to becoming mentally strong is paved with discomfort. Growth lives outside your comfort zone. If you want to rise, to evolve, to be unshakable, you need to make peace with being uncomfortable. That's the cost of strength, and it's worth every step. Mental strength is not something that magically appears when life is easy. It's something you build when you stare challenges in the face, when you step willingly into uncertainty, and when you keep moving forward through the moments that make every part of you want to stop. In a world that constantly encourages comfort, ease, and instant gratification, we're taught to avoid the hard road. We're told to look for shortcuts, to chase convenience, and to seek quick rewards. But the truth is this: real mental toughness is never developed in comfort. It is born in discomfort. It's shaped in struggle. It is forged in the fire of adversity and refined every time you choose not to give up. Just like physical strength isn't developed by lifting light weights that require no effort, mental strength isn't gained by avoiding life's heavier challenges. You get stronger by choosing to carry the weight, by embracing the load, by enduring the pressure that others avoid. Each time you face a situation that scares you, overwhelms you, or tempts you to walk away, but you move forward anyway, you're conditioning your mind. You're building mental muscle. That discomfort you feel, it's a signal. It's proof that you're stretching beyond your limits, growing into someone who is capable of more than they ever imagined. Every difficult moment is an invitation to grow stronger. And yet most people treat discomfort like a threat instead of the gift that it truly is. When things get tough, they retreat. When the heat turns up, they shut down. But avoiding discomfort only offers temporary relief. It doesn't lead to strength. It doesn't create growth. It keeps you stuck. Think back to the hardest seasons of your life, the times when you didn't think you could keep going, when you were exhausted, defeated, broken down to your core. And now remember what happened when you chose to keep showing up anyway. You became more resilient. You discovered that you were stronger than you believed. You found a version of yourself you didn't even know existed. That's the power of embracing discomfort. It opens doors you didn't even know were there. It forces you to dig deeper, to reach higher, and to adapt in ways that comfort never could. The pain you feel in the present moment is preparing you for something bigger. It's making you stronger, wiser, and more capable of handling whatever comes next. And discomfort isn't always loud and dramatic. Sometimes it's quiet. It's the day-to-day struggles, the long hours, the minor setbacks, the small frustrations that pile up over time. These moments demand just as much mental strength as the big ones. It's in the daily grind that your mindset is either built or broken. Every time you get up and keep going when you don't feel like it, every time you take action despite being tired, overwhelmed, or discouraged, that's when you're building real strength. The more you face discomfort head-on, the less it controls you. It starts to lose its grip. You begin to see it differently, not as a threat, but as a signal that you're doing something meaningful. Discomfort becomes a compass, pointing you in the direction of growth. You stop running from it. You start welcoming it, because now you understand what it really is. It's the training ground for the strong. So the next time you find yourself in a difficult moment, don't run from it. Don't numb it. Don't pretend it's not there. Lean into it. Embrace it. Recognize it as a sign that you are growing into the person you were always meant to become. This is your opportunity to rise, to evolve, and to show yourself what you're made of. Discomfort is not the enemy. It's the doorway to resilience, to strength, to everything you want but haven't yet become. And that brings us to something just as important: emotional resilience. Because mental strength isn't just about action. It's about how you handle your inner world when life gets messy. It's about what happens inside you when things fall apart. Life will test you emotionally. You will face setbacks. You will deal with failure. You will be rejected, disappointed, hurt. That's part of being human. But what separates the mentally strong from the rest is how they respond in those emotional valleys. Emotional resilience is one of the most powerful forms of strength. It's the ability to bounce back after falling hard. It's the inner power to keep your heart open when it's been bruised. It's the determination to keep moving forward even when your spirit feels crushed. You're going to feel pain. You're going to go through loss. That's inevitable. But pain is not what defines you. Your response to it is. Strength doesn't mean you never feel broken. It doesn't mean you never cry, never fall, never struggle. Strength means you feel all of it and keep going. It means you let the emotions come, but you don't let them control you. You process them. You learn from them. And you rise because of them. Emotional strength isn't about suppression. It's not about pretending you're fine when you're not. It's about being honest with yourself, sitting in the discomfort of your feelings, and still choosing to keep going. That's what it means to be mentally and emotionally resilient. It's not the absence of pain, it's the presence of courage in the middle of it. Emotional resilience is about mastering the ability to recognize and regulate your emotions rather than being overwhelmed by them. It's not about pretending that pain doesn't exist or forcing yourself to be unaffected by hardship. It's about acknowledging what you feel, facing it with honesty, and then making a deliberate choice to rise above it. Think back to those moments when life knocked you down, when plans unraveled, when disappointment came uninvited. It's so easy to get stuck there, isn't it? To sink into the weight of frustration, sadness, or anger and let it take the wheel. But the truth is, those emotions, while powerful, are not permanent. They don't define who you are. Mentally strong individuals understand this. They know that what truly matters is not what you feel in a moment of weakness. It's how you respond to it. Strength lies in processing those feelings without letting them take over. It means not letting anger cloud your vision or allowing fear to dictate your decisions. It means giving yourself the space to feel, but then choosing to move forward with clarity and purpose. Resilience means you don't live in the darkness, you move through it. You get back up, take a deep breath, and keep going. You learn from what happened, you carry the lesson, and you leave the weight behind. One of the most important parts of emotional resilience is composure, the ability to remain centered when things fall apart. Life has a way of surprising us no matter how much we plan, how hard we work, or how prepared we think we are. The real test comes when those plans go sideways. Will you let stress and frustration unravel your progress, or will you steady yourself and press on? The mentally resilient choose the latter. They don't waste time on things they can't control. They don't drain themselves trying to change the unchangeable. Instead, they pour their energy into what they can affect, their attitude, their focus, their next step. They understand that pain and setbacks are inevitable, but how they choose to face those moments is entirely up to them. That choice is where strength is found. Emotional resilience also requires vulnerability, the courage to confront your own limitations without shame. It's not about being flawless or having it all together. It's about understanding that it's okay to break down, to feel lost, to struggle. It's about realizing that even in your lowest moments, you are still worthy of progress, of growth, of hope. Mentally strong people don't hide from their emotions. They face them, feel them, and express them in healthy, constructive ways. But they never forget that emotions are just one part of the story. They know that emotional awareness must be paired with emotional discipline. Because in the end, your ability to rise doesn't come from never falling. It comes from refusing to stay down. When you build emotional resilience, you stop letting your feelings dictate your future. You take back the wheel. You choose your path with intention. And no matter how stormy the road becomes, you know deep down that you have what it takes to weather it. That's what makes you truly unshakable. And it doesn't stop there. Mental strength also demands a deep commitment to self-discipline. It's not just about pushing through the hard times, it's about showing up day in and day out, even when nothing around you is inspiring. It's about honoring your goals, sticking to your commitments, and doing the necessary work even when your motivation has vanished. Because let's be honest, motivation is fleeting. Some days, it simply won't be there. And on those days, self-discipline becomes everything. It becomes the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. It's the daily grind, the repetition, the quiet determination to keep going when no one is watching and when your progress feels invisible. Discipline is the foundation of all lasting success. It's what keeps you moving when your emotions tell you to quit. It's what drives you to stay focused when distractions call your name. It's the internal promise that you keep to yourself over and over, no matter how many times life tries to knock you off course. Discipline is not glamorous. It's not always exciting, but it is powerful. It's the steady force that builds momentum and sharpens your edge. Mentally strong individuals don't rely on inspiration to fuel their actions. They rely on consistency, on routine, on the standards they've set for themselves. They understand that greatness isn't built on feelings, it's built on commitment. So if you want to be mentally strong, don't just wait for motivation to show up. Build discipline instead. Choose to act in alignment with your goals even when it's hard. Choose to stay the course when your mind tempts you to take the easy way out. Show up with purpose, not just passion. Because when you combine emotional resilience with unwavering discipline, you become a force that no challenge can break. You become unstoppable. Let's be honest. If you only ever did what was easy or comfortable, you'd stay exactly where you are. Growth wouldn't happen. Progress would stall. And your true potential, it would remain buried beneath excuses and convenience. Because real growth, the kind that transforms who you are and what you're capable of, begins the moment you step beyond your comfort zone. It's when you choose to show up even when every part of you wants to stay still. It's when you do the work not just on the good days, but on the hard ones too. But here's the truth about discipline. It doesn't arrive with the flip of a switch. It's not a magical burst of willpower that appears when you need it. It's something that is built slowly, decision by decision, day by day. And the more you commit to discipline, the more resilient you become. Because when you discipline your mind, you start living on your terms. You stop reacting to every fleeting emotion. You stop allowing temporary feelings to override your long-term goals. You become the one in control, the one who makes intentional choices based on purpose, not impulse. Self-discipline is the hidden power behind every success story. It's the difference between people who dream and people who do. Everyone has dreams. Everyone has goals they talk about, wish for, hope to achieve someday. But not everyone is willing to put in the work that turns those dreams into reality. And that's where discipline makes all the difference. It's about showing up every single day whether you feel like it or not. It's about honoring your commitments even when the motivation is gone and the path gets hard. One of the greatest tests of discipline is resisting the pull of instant gratification. In a world where distractions are constant and comfort is always one click away, it's easy to get lost in short-term pleasure. It's easy to scroll for hours, binge on entertainment, or reach for that quick fix that makes you feel good now. But none of that brings you closer to the life you really want. None of that helps you grow. In fact, it chips away at your potential. Discipline is choosing to say no to what's easy, so you can say yes to what matters. It's making the conscious decision to delay gratification in exchange for something far more valuable in the long run. It's choosing the hard thing, the thing that stretches you, demands more from you, and forces you to level up. That's how mental strength is built. Not in moments of ease, but in moments of choice. When you choose discipline over indulgence, effort over avoidance, growth over comfort, you become stronger in every way. But let's be clear, discipline doesn't mean perfection. It doesn't mean you never rest or that you have to be on all the time. What it really means is that you know what's important and you prioritize it. You know what matters most and you give it your time and energy. You understand that your focus is limited and your habits are powerful, so you choose to build habits that support your purpose. This mindset of discipline extends into every area of your life. Mental strength isn't only about pushing yourself in your work or chasing your goals, it's also about taking care of yourself. It's about showing up for your health, physically, mentally, and emotionally. It means fueling your body with good food, staying active, getting enough rest, and creating space for recovery. Because when your mind and body are strong, everything else becomes more manageable. Discipline in these areas builds the foundation for everything else you do. Without it, the structure crumbles. With it, everything aligns. Discipline is also your greatest weapon in times of adversity. Life will test you. It will throw challenges in your path that you didn't expect and didn't ask for. But how you respond to those moments is what determines your future. When the pressure is on, when the odds are stacked against you, when things fall apart, discipline is what helps you stay the course. It keeps you grounded. It keeps you moving forward. Even when the journey feels impossible, discipline gives you the strength to focus on what matters. It helps you take the next step and then the next, until you find your way through. It allows you to see past the immediate frustration and stay locked in on the bigger picture. Because success is not about avoiding obstacles. It's about continuing to move despite them. And here's something important to remember. Discipline is not something you either have or you don't. It's a skill, a muscle. And like any muscle, it grows stronger the more you train it. The more you practice discipline in the small things, the more equipped you become to handle the big ones. And over time, you'll start to notice the changes. Your life becomes more focused. Your goals feel more within reach. Your health, your relationships, your career, they all begin to reflect the power of your choices. You'll realize that by choosing discipline over comfort, you're building something far greater than success. You're building strength. You're building character. You're building a life that reflects the very best of who you are and who you're becoming. Here's the truth. Self-discipline is the foundation on which all mental strength is built. Without it, your dreams remain nothing more than wishes. They stay locked in the realm of someday because you never take the steps necessary to bring them to life. But the moment you decide to show up, regardless of how you feel, regardless of how hard or uncomfortable the work becomes, that's the moment you begin to shift. That's the moment mental toughness starts to take root. Every time you discipline yourself to follow through, to take action despite resistance, you're building a stronger mind, one that can withstand pressure, overcome setbacks, and stay focused when others fall apart. Discipline gives you power, the power to shape your future, to create a life of meaning, and to stay the course no matter what obstacles arise. The more consistently you practice it, the more mentally unshakable you become, and that's when you stop being controlled by circumstances and start taking full ownership of your journey. But self-discipline alone isn't enough. You also need confidence, not the kind that's loud or flashy, but the kind that's steady and grounded. Confidence is not just a fleeting feeling. It's the foundation beneath your persistence, the fuel behind your discipline, and the courage that keeps you moving forward when everything around you feels uncertain. You can be mentally tough, physically resilient, and full of grit, but without belief in yourself, all of that strength becomes harder to access. Confidence begins with belief, a deep, internal knowing that whatever comes your way, you have what it takes to handle it. It's the voice in your mind that says, "I am capable," even when the world is filled with doubt. Real confidence isn't about arrogance. It's not about pretending you're invincible or pretending you have no fear. True confidence is humble and powerful. It's rooted in self-awareness and the understanding that strength doesn't mean perfection, it means resilience. To build unshakable confidence, you first need to know who you are. That means taking time to understand your strengths, your weaknesses, your values, your purpose, and your limits. Because when you truly know yourself, you stop living for other people's approval. You stop questioning every decision and start trusting your own judgment. You stop comparing your journey to others and begin focusing on your own growth. And let's face it, comparison is one of the biggest killers of confidence. We live in a world where everyone's best moments are constantly on display, and it's so easy to feel like you're falling behind. But the truth is, your journey is not supposed to look like anyone else's. Your confidence will grow the moment you accept that you are not meant to fit someone else's mold. You are meant to grow into the strongest, truest version of yourself. And that can only happen when you stop measuring your worth by someone else's highlight reel and start measuring it by your own progress, your own effort, and your own values. Confidence also comes from how you deal with failure. It's easy to feel strong when everything is going your way. But true confidence shows up when things fall apart, when you try and fail, when you give your all and it still doesn't work out. Confidence isn't the absence of failure. It's the determination to keep showing up after it. It's the courage to say, "I'm not done," when most people would walk away. Every failure is an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to come back better. And when you begin to see it that way, failure loses its power to shake you. Instead of tearing down your confidence, it starts building it. And let's not forget, confidence grows through action. The more you do, the more you show yourself what you're capable of. Every time you take a risk, every time you step outside your comfort zone, every time you move forward despite fear, you're adding another brick to the foundation of your confidence. You don't build belief by standing still. You build it by moving, by trying, by proving to yourself over and over again that you are stronger than your doubts. And yes, there will be moments when fear and self-doubt show up. But the more you push past them, the quieter they become. Confidence is earned through effort, through persistence, and through the willingness to keep going when things get uncomfortable. And here's what's most important to remember. Confidence isn't about perfection. It's not about having all the answers or never making mistakes. It's about being okay with your imperfections. It's about knowing that you don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to keep going. It's about understanding that setbacks are not the end of the road. They're part of the process. And every time you stumble and choose to get back up, every time you fall and rise again, you become stronger. You become more confident. You become someone who doesn't just survive hard times. You grow through them. Confidence, when combined with self-discipline, becomes an unstoppable force. One gives you the structure to stay on course. The other gives you the belief that the course is worth staying on. And when you have both, you don't just chase your goals, you achieve them. You don't just dream, you do. You build a life that reflects your strength, your vision, and your ability to rise no matter what stands in your way. Confidence is not something that appears out of thin air. It's something you build through consistency, through the quiet decision to keep showing up and doing the work even when your energy is low, even when your motivation fades, even when self-doubt creeps in and tries to convince you that you're not enough. It's in those moments, the ones where your mind tells you to quit, to shrink, to settle, that confidence is either built or broken. And when you choose to keep going, when you lean into the challenge and push through the doubt, that's when you strengthen the belief that you are capable of more than you once believed. Confidence isn't about always feeling ready. It's about acting anyway. It's about proving to yourself again and again that you can handle more than your fear wants you to believe. Another powerful piece of building confidence is the way you speak to yourself. Your internal dialogue shapes your identity. If you're constantly feeding your mind negative thoughts, telling yourself that you're not good enough, not smart enough, not worthy of success, you're conditioning your brain to accept that story as truth. But the moment you begin to change the narrative, everything shifts. When you speak words of encouragement, when you affirm your strength, when you declare your worth and remind yourself of what you're capable of, you begin to rewire your thinking. Your confidence starts to rise, not from ego, but from a deep sense of self-respect. You begin to understand that how you treat yourself matters. Confidence is built by honoring yourself, by recognizing your own value, and by reinforcing the belief that you are worthy of living the life you envision. Self-care is a critical part of this process. When you take care of your body, your mind, and your spirit, you're sending a powerful message to yourself. I matter. I am worth the time. I am worth the effort. You begin to understand that confidence isn't about receiving praise from others. It's about consistently showing up for yourself. It's about doing the inner work, meeting your own needs, and striving to become your best, most aligned self. That kind of confidence, the kind rooted in self-awareness and self-respect, is unshakable. It doesn't depend on external approval. It comes from within, and because of that, it can withstand the storms of life. Confidence and mental strength are deeply connected. The more you believe in your ability to rise, the more resilient you become. And the more resilient you are, the more your confidence grows. It's a powerful cycle. One feeds the other. When you trust yourself, you stop doubting your capacity to handle what life throws at you. You begin to take risks, to stretch, to act boldly. Not because you're never afraid, but because you've developed the courage to act in spite of fear. And every time you follow through, every time you overcome, you prove to yourself that you're capable of more than you once believed. That proof becomes the fuel that builds even deeper confidence. Unbreakable confidence is not given, it's earned. It's earned through repetition, through commitment, through discipline. It's earned by doing the hard work that no one sees. It's earned when you keep showing up, when you stay loyal to your vision even when the path is uncertain. It's earned when you believe in yourself before anyone else does, when you take full responsibility for your progress and your setbacks. Confidence is built when you stop waiting for perfect circumstances and start creating progress with what you have, where you are. It's built by stretching yourself, by doing the things that scare you, and by proving over and over that you have what it takes to overcome any challenge that comes your way. So when you carry yourself with confidence, understand that it doesn't mean you have all the answers. It doesn't mean you're never afraid or never make mistakes. What it means is that you have chosen to rise. You've chosen to believe in your ability to grow, to get back up, to learn, to adapt. You've chosen to face the world not with perfection, but with persistence. Your confidence is not built on appearance, it's built on experience, on grit, on resilience, and because of that, it cannot be taken from you. As you walk away from these words, remember this: the power to build unbreakable confidence already lives within you. You have everything you need to rise above your fears, to navigate through adversity, and to keep pushing forward no matter how heavy life gets. Confidence isn't reserved for a select few. It's available to anyone who is willing to do the work. Be authentic, be persistent, be relentless in your pursuit of the life you were meant to live. And above all, believe in yourself. Because when you do, there is nothing, absolutely nothing, that can stand in your way. So now the choice lies in your hands. You can continue to wait. Wait for the motivation to come. Wait for the fear to pass. Wait for everything in life to feel just right before you begin. Or you can decide, right here and now, that you're done waiting. That you're ready to take ownership of your life, your mindset, and your future. Because the truth is, you already have everything you need inside you. The strength, the resilience, the courage, the discipline. It's all there, waiting to be tapped into, waiting to be developed, waiting for you to give yourself permission to rise. This journey you're on, the path toward mental strength and unshakable confidence, is not about being perfect. It's not about never feeling afraid or never falling short. It's about refusing to stay down when life knocks you off your feet. It's about waking up each day and choosing to believe in yourself again and again, even when the voice in your head tells you otherwise. It's about doing the hard things, not because they're easy, but because they're worth it. And yes, there will be setbacks. There will be moments when your confidence wavers, when your discipline slips, when life hits harder than you expected. But those moments do not define you. They refine you. They challenge you to dig deeper, to rise stronger, to recommit to the vision you have for your life. Each time you choose to push through the doubt, to stay focused in the chaos, to keep going when quitting would be easier, you're shaping the person you were always meant to become. Confidence is earned. Discipline is earned. Mental strength is earned. They are not handed to you. They are built. One choice, one action, one moment at a time. So don't underestimate the power of what you do today. The decisions you make in this moment are the seeds of your future strength. Speak to yourself with belief. Show up with intention. Face challenges with courage. And most importantly, keep moving forward, even if it's only by an inch. Because those small, consistent steps you take will add up to something extraordinary. The life you want, the strength you seek, the confidence you crave, it's not somewhere far off. It begins the moment you decide to rise. And if you keep choosing to rise, no matter how many times you fall, you'll become someone unstoppable, someone unbreakable, someone who doesn't just dream of a better life, but creates it. This is your time, your journey, your story. And no matter where you've been or what you've faced, the best chapters are still waiting to be written. So go out there, stand tall, trust yourself, keep building, keep believing, and never forget, you are far more powerful than you think.